Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Was
Yeah.
having problem
Let's
with my.
wait for the others to join.
Okay. So how should I address you? Nami, is it?
Yeah, my name is Helia.
Oh, Helia. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Brian.
Hey, yeah. Hey, I got your email, by the way, and I just never got around to responding. Sorry.
Nope, that's why we meet.
Sorry. By the way, how can I send email to your for example?
Sorry, what was the question?
So your email address. How can I find your email address? Or
Oh, there's a reflector for the whole group.
oh, okay.
Yeah, you should be able to. You should be. We talked about it last time. I can't remember. Groups.io, I think. Are you on that
Okay.
list?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just joined last week.
Okay. Yeah. So I think if you join the groups.io list, then you can email the reflector, and it goes to everybody in this group.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Give everybody just one more minute before we start here. Probably should be a little bit of a short meeting. I have a couple of things we can talk about here, and some status from my side and Helia's, and oh yeah, a directory reorganization proposal from Jeff. Okay. All right. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I got your email. It seems like you've updated all of the tables and figures, right? In the link layer document. Here,
Yeah, that should look
let me
nicely numbered now.
there you go. Right. So all the tables and stuff, at least from this side, at least from this side are all fixed. I think we need to probably still go back through and wait, to double check here. These guys right here. Okay, these are all just labeled as figures, huh? Okay. That's fine. The I went through and through the sideband and link control protocol and did sprinkled through a bunch of rewording to make the text make more sense with regards to which document it's in, because we refer to the transaction and link layer spec quite a few times, or at least we did in the other two specifications here, and the text didn't make sense if it's included in the doc as a chapter. So I went through and reworded those so they made sense. There was also a bunch of other cross references between the two sections and sections into the transaction and the layer spec that I had to go figure out, and then linked to the labels, sorry, that you had made Helia. And so I think they all work now. I think that's again, it would be good if people would proofread these. I have been looking at the comments in the configuration, sorry, in the other sideband control path spec, and then making the changes in this spec for the suggestions and issues that were pointed out. So again, hopefully all of those are clear now. The things I think that are left to do in this document are, go back through the link layer side, sorry, the main band link layer side, and make sure there's no issues in terms of the way it refers to things with the sideband side. And then David left a number of fix-me's in the main band side that we should probably go through. I haven't reviewed all of them in detail to make sure that I, to encapsulate, but we can potentially do that live if, if we have the time here, and talk about some of the things he's talking about there, because some of them are discussion topics. And then there's others. The last thing I think is possibly just some formatting stuff. So there's some technical things I haven't quite figured out. So we're using an extension called Markdown Tools in order to do all of the chapter numbering and everything. And the way Markdown Tools works, apparently Google Docs has been changed since that extension was made, and doesn't seem to be like a lot of other extensions that do the same thing. And so Markdown is not processed the same way it used to be when that extension was made. And I haven't found a good way to convert them, because it just comes out as, it comes out as raw markup when I try and make like a table of contents and things like that. So there may be some exporting, re-importing, or something that has to get done to make the table of contents. Haven't quite figured that one out. So those and just normal formatting things, because again, we've had to move and reword things and everything, and there's a variety of places in the document where tables get split, and labels for a diagram are on the different pages than the diagram itself. And unfortunately, Google Docs doesn't have quite as many tools as Word does for print formatting, in terms of like keeping things with their parents. So I need to we either need to manually do that, or I need to figure out another solution for how to keep things together so that it actually looks good when we convert it to PDF. So I think just a couple of small things on the formatting side. And then okay, so that's the doc stuff.
One question about the doc. Do we have a reference section? Maybe we do, and I managed to miss it. And if you don't, do we need to have a reference section?
I wanted to say yes, but I may be thinking of the other document. It doesn't look like it. No, maybe we need to make an appendix or something. We definitely have one in the control path spec, but the links were argument. There's some arguments about the valid links there. It's in the introduction, I want to say. Yeah, we just have the two links here, and obviously one of them is.
Oh, one of them is
Right.
Bao and the other one. Okay, so the second one.
This is the only document that we
Yeah,
really link
yeah.
to.
Okay, I can add that to
Yeah,
yeah.
we can just add this to the introduction if you want.
Yeah, yep. Okay.
Okay, sorry. I've been making comment in this document. So should I make comment on this document or the other document, the version 2? Because I also reading it.
No, this one was fine, I think, until now, because we weren't really finished kind of integrating this document into the other document. I think,
Okay.
and I've been trying to take your comments, and there's a number of other people who have made comments too down here into account as well. So, and so those comments have been taken into account over here. So if you want to start making comments over here, or ones that you see that are that are messed up, then please do so.
Okay.
How about moving forward, we just use this document?
Yes.
So sorry, the control path specification will be combined into this TLL version 2. Am I right to say that?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Originally,
so
we authored them separately because it was going to be a separate thing, but from a process point of view inside of OCE or OCP, I guess, really, because it's a parent document thing. The way the IP agreements and stuff work, it's a lot easier from a legal perspective just to extend a current document than it is making a new document. So we're going to be just
okay.
extending the current document and save ourselves a little paperwork.
I see. So moving forward, the control path document will be something like queue off, and then everything will be combined into the TLL version 2.
Yes, yeah. They're basically there's just two chapters at the bottom that is that document.
I see. But if I look at the TLL version 2, right? How to say? One thing I like to check is because the TLL version 2, the front page you say is revision A, version 2.0, and then the date is 18th of April 2023. And then the release version that currently that is in the OCP is also revision A, but it's version 1.0, right?
Right. So we're not changing any things in terms of backwards compatibility with this document. So it will probably still be considered Rev A. This is in addition to this. Well, I don't know. It depends on how we want to define it, because we don't really define what a revision means in this regard. But we're not losing any kind of backwards compatibility. This is all additional specification, for the sideband, right? So we're not changing anything with the main band. So there's an argument to say this is version 2 of Rev A.
Oh, I see. But this is not official release yet, right?
No, this is all working documents right now.
Okay.
Whenever we do the official release, or whenever we decide that the document's done, I'll update the date.
Oh, I see. Okay, so this is still working copy, right? The official release one is still 1.0.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. So
Great.
moving forward, I will provide comments in this document rather than the new control path document.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Yes, that
okay,
would be great. And maybe I can just
because I was having the perception that this document will be released to replace the other one. That's why I never touched this. I only touched the control path. Okay, now I understand. So thank you for the clarification. So I will provide comment for this revision A 2.0.
Okay, thank you. And maybe I can remove the comment access on the other document so that people stop putting comment there and leave comment here.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Anything else from from this document side? We can come back to the fixed means in a bit.
And then my next question is regarding, because in the in last week meeting, right? You share that there's a work in progress folder where you have the interface profile.
Yes.
How will the interface profile information be added into this 2.0 document?
Those will be kept as separate documents.
They will be kept as a, but are we going to put reference to it?
Yes. So that's actually something that's actually next on the agenda. Well, we won't. Let me rephrase. This document won't have explicit references to the interface profiles and bus protocol variants. Those documents will be treated less like specifications and more like examples, I think, is the way we're dealing with them right now. I think they'll be considered working documents to a degree that we're releasing. I think that eventually we'll have some sort of profiles that we will certify, but I don't think we're to that point yet. I think we'll just treat those as examples for now. But either way, those will be distributed alongside this specification, but I don't think the specification will explicitly reference those specific documents. We do have a section in this document that talks about what those other documents mean. Where is that? Here it is.
Then I have a
So we
concern,
have a whole
right?
section on like what interface profiles and bus protocol variants are.
Yes, but then my concern is if you refer to figure 6, right? Which you define the TLP type, right? So all those interface profile need to be defined into the TLP class and TLP stream, right? Please correct me if my understanding
Yeah,
is
you need the IDs. Yeah.
yeah. Then who is going to assign the ID?
So they're in the other documents. They're in the interface profile typically.
The
I just call it secondary specs right now.
yeah, it's okay.
Where did again, I haven't, these aren't all of them. Where is so I haven't, so this is one of my action items I'm still getting to. So these haven't been quite unified all yet. I need to go back through and unify them with David's. Where is did I have them? I don't have them up. Anyway, the ones that are on the GitHub, there is some, there's some interface profiles there, and they, yeah, I think that's a variant. Anyway, they define the IDs and everything in the profile.
Yes, but then how I mean okay. So means that the interface profile, right? The ID will be assigned. Let's say for example right now in this work in progress document, you have the AXI 5 bus variant, right? The version 5, right? And
Sure.
if you open this document, right?
Yeah, so this is a bus protocol variant. This is talking about the actual, I don't think I put the IDs in here. No. So these talk about the mapping of the channels to the protocol packet, right? Which gets mapped into the TLP, right?
Yeah.
And then the actual, I don't think any of these are actually, this naming on the document's wrong. I need to yeah, this is a bus protocol variant too, even though this is interface profile. Same here. Where's the GitHub? I had the window up.
So, yeah, because I also read this document, right? Because you have a few variants inside, and then how are you going to map this into the TLP, and how does user know whether it is which light or the
So
extended.
the idea is that the bus protocol variant gives you the mapping, and then the interface profile, like here, the Ventana one is a good example. The profile actually talks about like which bus protocol variants that is used in the profile, because there's typically multiple, right? You know, if you have like upstream, downstream, or whatever, right?
Yeah. So
And
for
so it'll
example,
define which protocol variants are there and which IDs you need to use for each one in that profile.
okay, so for example, right now, this TLP class is actually defining the AXI file light, right? And
Yes.
under this AXI file light, they define the stream, which is the address right. The other one is respond, then address read and data read.
Yep.
Yeah, and you assign the header of 89AB, right? And
You're
if
right.
you go back to the spec, currently we mentioned in the spec that 3F 38 to 3F are reserved for custom interface profile. And with the growing number of bus protocol, right? How are we managing this header, and then will it over will I mean my
So
concern is.
so typically a die-to-die interface is only going to have
Mhm.
one profile, right? It's not going to have multiple concurrent profiles, right? So there's no reason to, and because that the bus protocol defines what the IDs do, right? There's no need to have any kind of central repository because there's no collision since you're really using one at a time.
Okay, so means that basically whoever that is implementing this, uh but let's say if I have two different chiplet from two different company,
Uh-huh.
then how do they align this TLP header type number?
Okay, if they're doing it the way that we're intending in the standard, each of those vendors will tell you which profile that they're doing, right?
Yeah,
And so
correct.
your side of the die-to-die has to implement that profile, right? Or be able to switch between those two profiles.
Yes, and then this header number, is it fixed or we can define ourselves?
If you change it, you are defining a new profile.
Okay, so right now, imagine right now, this the AXI file light, right? Is defined as 89ABC, right?
Uh-huh.
And if I want to support AXI file light, right, I also need to provide 89ABC, right?
You need to define, yeah. I mean, you either need to follow an existing interface profile's IDs and
Mm-hmm.
the other constraints, because this isn't the only constraint in the profile. There's other small things here, right? You know, in terms of options in the bus protocol and things like that. But you need to
Mm-hmm.
either follow an existing bus protocol, or you need to, or sorry, excuse me, you need to follow an existing profile, or you need to create a new profile and communicate that to your partner. And I think that again, the profiles here aren't meant to be, they're not supposed to be dictatorial. They're not supposed to be like, you know, the standard has defined one profile and everybody use that profile. These
Mm-hmm.
profiles are meant to be a language that you use to communicate with your partners and customers and things like that. So if you have a chiplet that you would like to communicate with, both of you need to say which profile you're using, and you guys need to agree on a profile that you're using. And if you don't like the profiles that exist, you need to create a profile and then share that with your partner. And that's the general idea. And so that means both these IDs that I'm talking about up here,
Mm-hmm.
both the IDs for the individual data streams and the other protocol level options, right? Because every bus has options and stuff like that. And even if you look at the, let's look at bus protocol variants, because this is because in theory you're building your profiles based on bus protocol variants, right? And so the bus protocol variants give you a mapping for different options and different bus width and things like that of existing bus protocol, right? So you can say, I'm making a profile that uses the minimum AXI5 bus protocol variant and then has these mappings. But then you can also, there's also options within this as well. And you can say, I'm a, let's see, where's sorry, where's that's not a good example. Do I have user bits in this? Oh yeah, here's a good example. So poison, right? So you can say, I use the min variant. My profile uses the min bus protocol variant, but I do not support poison, right? You can add that caveat, right? So people don't send you poison bits and expect those to carry through. So it's not just the bus protocol mapping, right? The profile also has to give any other system conceits that are needed for interaction between the two systems.
Okay. Because when I read the spec right now, I don't I don't get this information from it.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, if you want to, we talk about these two things in this subsection. If you think that there's some other clarifying text we should add, yeah, just please comment. And it's been a while since I've read through this, honestly. I can try and see if there's any way we can make this more clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so by talking to you, then I understand more. Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, we can. Let's all try and think of a ways we can help other new people that are trying to integrate these things. But regardless, that was a good conversation, because there was a Jeff came up with a here, I'll just make a new document. He suggested a directory structure, to organize our specs a little bit better. I just didn't know if anybody has any other counterpoints before I looked into actually changing this. And so he's basically saying, all right, make separate specification sections, right? So it's a little more clear that the profiles and variants are supposed to be used together with the link layer, and that it's also more clear that what is the newest link layer spec, right? I think we have an archive too we can put things in, but this spec right here will actually not be there. It'll only stay in the working folder. But the rest of it we can separate out. And I think his point is he'd like to see like us publish templates for the profiles and variants, so that people are more encouraged to make other profiles and variants, or at least understand what we were just talking about, that these documents are more of a specification language on using the transaction link layer rather than something that you're required to do. And that we also list the bus protocol variants in a very specific place so that they're easy to find.
Brian, has Ventana ever reviewed the templates in any forum?
We don't have templates. We have
Okay.
documents that David and I wrote. Then we were using our own templates. And that was actually kind of one of my action items too. Not everything looks exactly the same. So once we were done with this work, I was going to go and try and make all of our documents look more similar and make them named accurately, because some of them are named inaccurately.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so we have documents, but we don't have specifically templates. And so separating one of those out into a template shouldn't be too hard.
And some of them are in GitHub and some of them you put in
Yeah.
secondary spec. No.
David sent me some Word docs for some of the PDFs that we didn't have from from David. You got them from David. So we'll like I said, I'll get them all into Google Docs and make them all use the same format and template and make sure the wording is consistent.
And those are currently on the secondary spec.
They're all in secondary spec section.
Okay.
Or well, not all of them. The ones I did were. The Ventana ones are not. So I have those in an email right now. I'll put them up there once I've taken a look at them. Anybody have any comments on this directory structure?
Sorry, one last question. Every end of this meeting, right? The meeting minutes can be found at where?
I don't think anybody's capturing meeting minutes, but all the meetings are recorded. And Helia, I don't know. I don't remember the conversation where are those accessible by everybody? I don't remember. This was a topic on the other management call,
Because
but
every time when I log into this Zoom call, he will say that the video this meeting is recorded.
Yes, these meetings are recorded. Yep.
And how do we
I think up from the main page, main OCP page.
main OCP page?
This the same place that you find the link to this Zoom call.
Okay, the OCP page. Are you able to share where can I find the?
Oh, can you send me an email? I need to drop for another call. I'll just put my email and then I'll show you where to find
Okay,
the link. Sorry.
thanks a lot.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Bye. I just put
Bye,
my
Helia.
email. Thank you. Bye.
All right. So it sounds like there's no feedback on the directory structure, so I'm just going to go ahead and change that as I get an option, as I get time. The other topic, like I said earlier, was there's still a bunch of, I need to change these highlighting, but I think well, I don't think anybody has any issue with the wording. So David left a number of fix-me's. Okay, so I figure we can just there's just seems to be 6 of them left. Where's the first one? Oh, that was the first fix me. So I did fix the terminology already. So again, we talked about that already. Okay, so I'll suggest a wording for that one because I don't think we're doing any kind of discovery. Add a table of error probabilities and description of error model. I have no idea what that would look like. I think I'll need to go look at some other specs to see what kind of what that looks like. He already gives you the error rate. Table of error probabilities. Maybe I can find something on Wikipedia for the shell codes. I'll look around. We may just end up deleting that. Let's see, state diagram. Okay, this might be something unless somebody else would like to add some state diagrams, I can look into that. Train, idle, and Idle, run, wait, run. You know, I think I need to reread these also as well, because we kind of define these things as, again, in the control path, and I need to make sure that we're using the same language in both places. Oops, there was another one. Yeah, there's one more. State transition diagram. Note there still remains some unspecified behavior regarding what state the virtual wire should be in when disable bits are set. Okay. I'm not sure that's an easy topic. Okay. All right. Yeah, all these are going to require more prep work before we have a discussion. I have to, I'm not even 100% sure what he's talking about there. Why would you not know what the virtual wire state is? Anyway, okay. I might end up having to talk to David to ask him for clarification on some of these. So I think that was my last topic for this week. Does anybody else have any topics they would like to discuss on nuclear? Okay. Well, I can give you guys 20 minutes back then. I'll try and categorize at these fixed means before the next meeting so we can talk about whether there's any concerns here. Because it sounds like some clarifications are needed for some of these topics. Okay. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, I think I just went to look at the version 2, right? The sideband stuff are added, right? But I think the table of content need to be updated to reflect that as well, because currently
Yeah, that was something I talked about at the beginning of the call. I don't know how David generated the table of contents in the beginning. And so I have to generate a new one. And the extension that Helia and I are using for this document for generating the section numbering and everything like that has some technical difficulties in generating the table of contents. So I need to figure out a good way of generating table of contents.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, then in that case, I will read through this document and provide you feedback.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I think with that, we can go ahead and end the call. So thanks everybody for joining. See you next week.
Okay, bye-bye.